Hi. It's been a while, and this was totally unplanned. This is on the spot, but I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I missed you a whole lot. It has been a very rough couple of months. Just 2018. I'm already checked out. I'm done. But I have been gone for a little bit, and I just want to say I tried to do this on my laptop, but apparently, hi, hello. I tried to do this on my laptop, but can I just say I didn't realize now as of recently that like live streaming on your laptop with YouTube is like this whole thing, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know if because I tried downloading things and they're just like, oh, you don't have this, and I'm like, I don't got the motherfucking time for this. So today, we're going to talk about the bullshit that has been happening since I have been off YouTube. A lot of you guys have been asking how my recovery is going, if I am actually recovering, and if I'm dead, or I quit YouTube, or whatever. So, if you did not see that crappy little 15-second clip of me in the hospital, I had to really urgently have my appendix removed. It was not fun. It was a very scary situation. I might make a whole story time about it, but if you didn't see that clip or you did not read the description of that clip in the video, because I go in more detail than I'm probably going to here or I did on Instagram. But basically, in literally January 31st, I'm eating dinner with the dog. Yes, I'm back there. I'm eating dinner with my mom and her boyfriend and Molly. And all of a sudden, my stomach just starts cramping up, and I'm like, well, this is weird. So I take Advil, like most people probably would, and it's just getting worse and worse. I try to take a shower, I try to just go to bed, because it was 8:30 at night, and I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm not gonna say, I have the highest pain tolerance, because I'm not. In some situations, I'm just a giant pussy. But, with stomach cramps, I can usually handle that thanks to Mother Nature's wonderful gift of periods. So cramps in my stomach are not, the most uncommon thing for me to have. But the weird part is that the day before, I had and again, I usually get migraines, so it's I usually know how to deal with them, but it was, I think, the worst migraine I ever had. And then the next day, this insane cramping in my stomach, and I'm like, something's up. I'm not being a bitch baby about this. Something is motherfucking up. So I go to urgent care, and TMI, but turns out that there was blood in my urine, and they're like, you probably are passing a kidney stone. Or if you're not passing kidney stone, you have appendicitis, which just means that your appendix is like, hey, bitch, take me the fuck out. So because there was blood in my urine, they're like, oh, that's a huge indicator that you're having a kidney stone. So we were all leaning towards that. I'm like, oh, it's totally fine, because I'll just pass it, then I'll go back home and life will continue on, right? Nope. Hence all this stuff happening. So they're just like, so yeah, we were wrong. You have acute appendicitis, and you need to go to the hospital, and you need to have it removed, so congratulations. And I'm like, oh. And at this point, I'm drugged up on painkillers, which, God, I needed those so bad, because it literally felt like I was giving birth, and I've never been pregnant, but kudos to people who can handle that type of pain, because again, in some situations I can handle really well, in other situations I am a pussy, and I can't do anything. So, bless you. Shout out to the nurses and all the other people at the independent ER/urgent care that were dealing with my shit. Also, this is not a bruise. This is lipstick. I was filming a video earlier today, so don't think I burned myself or anything. It's just makeup. But then after that, I was taken to a local hospital, and I had to wait hours to get the surgery, and just the entire time I was drugged up, and it was not a fun experience. So, we all know what happened. I made that small little video explaining it. Do I believe in a higher power? Do you mean, am I religious? Is that what you're asking me? Because, we can talk about that if you want. What was I saying? Alright, so, let's go back to a couple of weeks ago. So, I actually, right after my car accident, I had gotten a new job. And because, where I worked beforehand, wow, my voice really just started going. To LUVE, it's nice to see you again. If you're asking if I believe in a higher power, I don't know if I've actually ever talked about this on YouTube, but I used to be in a really religious household. What was, how many years was it? Oh my god. Let me see, sorry, I was checking something. I was in a really religious household for a long time. I went to a Lutheran school from kindergarten to 6th grade, and my family used to be strictly Catholic. I know it's hard to believe looking at me, but I've been asked about, like, do I have any beliefs or whatever. I don't have to identify as atheist, because I don't believe that there's not a higher power, but, like, part of me will always have some kind of suspicion that, or, like, some kind of belief in God, because it's just the way that I grew up. But am I fully religious? No. Do I go to church every single week? No. Do I think that there is a higher power out there? Yes. Do I have any idea what it could be? It could be Hogwarts. It could be Jesus. It could be Wonder Woman. I don't know. But yeah. But getting back to the hospital story, about 2 or 3 weeks ago now at some point, yeah, so when I had my car accident, I had just got a new job because I just left the job I had before because it was shit. And then after the car accident, I got fired because I couldn't come in the day after the car accident because I medically, like, I could not stand up from whiplash, which was great. So I'd gotten a new job after that. And this was after my surgery. Like, I was starting, like, 2 weeks after my surgery, so it's not like I can't stand up for that. So I go to my first day at my new job. And I'm getting, like, that insane cramping feeling in my stomach again. It's just like, oh, bitch, no. I'm like, this can't be my appendix again, because my appendix was removed, fam. Like, how could my appendix be like, yo, take me the fuck out, when she was already taken the fuck out? She is gone. She's not here anymore. We kicked her out. So I'm like, why the fuck is my stomach cramping up so much? So my now old job, we'll get to that in a second, was 10 minutes away from my house, and I thought it was the clothing I was wearing because I was wearing, like, high-waisted, like, dress pants to work. So I'm like, I'll just go home because I had, like, a 45-minute lunch break. So I went home, I changed my clothes into a light-fitting dress, and it got worse. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to work. And if I can't handle it there, I'll just, like, talk to, like, a nurse or something. I don't know why. I thought about, like, high school words, like, oh, if I feel like shit, I'll just go to the nurse. Like, I assume that there's, like, some kind of medical person and, like, somewhere in each job. I don't know. I could be totally wrong about that. But I drive back the 10 minutes to my work in the new car that I had just gotten. And it was just getting worse by the second. And I'm just like, okay, this is also nothing. So I go to a supervisor on site and I tell them, hey, and they knew I had surgery recently. Like, when I first walked in, like, we were all sharing facts about each other because I was in, like, this group of people for my first day. And I'm like, my fun fact is I had my appendix removed 2 weeks ago, so if shit happens, that's why. I literally just said it just in case. I had no idea. The only thing happening the day before this happened, I want to say before the next part happened, is that I don't want to go into gross detail, but it was very hard for your good old friend Haley to go to the bathroom. And that's all I'm going to say. So the cramping in my stomach is happening. So I tell the supervisor about this and how I think it might have something to do with the surgery I had recently since it was in my stomach. And I just asked, like, I don't even want to go to the ambulance. I don't want to go to the hospital. I'm just like, can I just see a nurse? Can I just see a basic motherfucking nurse? Nothing crazy, nothing outlandish. And he's like, well, if you want to see a medical person, we have to call. Hello, nice to see you. He said to me, he's like, if you want to see a medical person, you have to go to, like, we have to call paramedics for you. And I'm like, okay, but, like, again, like I said, my pain was getting worse. So I'm like, you know what, let's just call the paramedics, especially since I had surgery recently. Couldn't hurt for a paramedic to see me, right? So I call the paramedics. Paramedics take my blood work. They ask me questions. And apparently my heart rate was, like, through the roof, like, raising the goddamn roof, like Uptown Funk is playing. And they're like, we highly recommend that you go to the hospital. And I'm like, oh, okay, if you want. They're like, we really, really recommend it. I did have the choice to say no, but I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's go. Let's go on a field trip. So, first of all, can I just say, I was nauseous during all this, and I am not that bitch who can sit, like, backwards in a limo, like, you know how, like, in a limo, sometimes you have to, like, sit in the opposite direction the car is going. I'm not that person. I get super duper car sick. I am not that bitch. And I had to be like that in the ambulance just because of how everything was. And I also hate needles. Needles make me insanely nauseous. Can anybody at all relate to that, please? Because I feel like nobody, at least that I know of besides Eric, is scared of needles. I feel like all my friends are just like, and something, and I'm just like, bitch, how? Thank you. thank you. I don't get it. I've always had a fear of needles. I'm just like, like when anybody takes my blood, and here's the thing, I recently started donating blood, and like every time they do it, I'm just like, I tell the nurse every time I donate blood, and I'm just like, hey, no offense to you, I have, me neither, it's bullshit. I just tell her, like, hey, I'm gonna cover my eyes when you put the needle, like, in me, like, when you do it, and it's nothing against you, I literally just can't look, because I feel like it'll just hurt more to me if I look. I don't know if that's true, but I can't look. Like, I don't feel like the needle being pulled out of me, but even if I don't look, I feel it going in, and I'm just like, this is the most anxiety that I've ever had in my entire life. So, this paramedic thinks, and it's the best idea, and keep in mind, we're on the freeway going to the hospital where I am, in this, like, ambulance, my anxiety's through the roof, I'm nauseous, my stomach feels like it's about to explode. Same, and I'm just like, how can people do drugs? Like, this might be a good thing, though, so I can never be a heroin addict. I don't want to be a heroin addict, but it's just like, you need needles to do drugs, and I will never be comfortable with that. Maybe it's a good thing, I don't know, but yeah, I just, like, you could have me in a pit of fire, but it's just like, hey, Haley, you can stand in this ring of the fire, or you can get poked with needles. Which one do you like? I'm just like, sign me the fuck up for that heat fest. Like, I'd much rather do that. And my phone is vibrating. Yeah. You're probably you're probably right. I'm not going to, but I'm pretty sure someone could. So I'm in the ambulance, and we get to the hospital. I was actually taken to the hospital where I was born. I don't want to say hospital what it was, because location and everything. And my job was okay with me going, and they were just like, oh, you're good. Like, at least I was told at the moment that I was good and I could go to the hospital. Yeah, I just read it again, and I'm just like, that's actually kind of clever. That's really cool. So I'm at the hospital. I called my mom right before I was taken to the ambulance, and I'm just like, hey, my first day at my new job is going so well that I'm going to the hospital. Can you please get me here? And my mind's like in a million places at once, so I have her tell Eric that I'm glad that you have learned that beautiful lesson. Congratulations. But I'm in the hospital. Wow, I really can't talk today. I feel like every time I film a video, it's just like my voice is like, hey, talking's not important. Fuck you. So I'm at the hospital, and can I just say, the hospital I was in, I don't know if all emergency rooms are like this across the country. Tell me if you've ever been in an emergency room, and I live in Arizona, so if any of you are, even if you're not in the US, I know a lot of you are in the UK, tell me what your emergency rooms are like, because the one I was in was god awful. I won't spend too much talking about it, but like the guy to my left, when I finally got to bed after 2 hours of waiting, my stomach cramping up in the ER, I finally got to bed, and there was just a drug addict next to me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good night. Hope you have a good night. I'm in the ER, and I get to bed, and to my left, there is a wonderful drug addict who apparently was tested for drugs, but he's denying everything. He's like, I've been sober for a blank amount of years. And they're like, well, we drug tested you, and you have drugs in your system. And he's like, that's a lie. And I'm just like, it was weird. And then to my right, there's somebody coughing into like the curtain, because there's like curtains separating our beds. There's just someone literally using it like a Kleenex, like just grabbing it and coughing, and I'm like right here, and I'm like, I'm gonna get Ebola in this hospital. I'm gonna die. This is how it ends. Not clickbait. So when they finally get to me, because it took forever for them to finally treat me, I was in the waiting room for 2 hours. I was in this bed that I'm sure plenty of people have died on for at least an hour. And my mom was with me during this. Eric was at school because college, and my dad came eventually. And they did tests on me, because they're like, oh, your body could be going into abscess, and we may need to reoperate on you. And I'm like, awesome. Great. So great. Thank you. And I'm like, of course this would happen. January, car accident. February, appendix needing to come out. February again. Just fuck you. And time for another surgery on the first day of your job that you got after you got fired for no fucking reason. Great. Well, good news is, it was not abscess, and I did not need to be reopened, which is always a fantastic thing. what was happening, and I'm not going to go into detail about this because I'm just going to be honest, it's gross. And I don't think everyone wants to hear about it on YouTube. So all I'm going to tell you is that, remember how I said the day before I went to the hospital it was hard for your girl Haley to use the restroom? It was related to that. And I don't want to go into detail, but because of my surgery, it was making it impossible for me to use the restroom. So they had to physically make me use the restroom, and that is literally all I'm going to say because it's gross. And I'm sure y'all really don't want to think about that. But after being in the hospital for over 24 hours, yeah, it sucked. I think actually I came there, I got to the hospital around 1 o'clock my time, and I didn't leave till about 11 a.m. the next day. So almost 24 hours. So here's the kicker. I had a friend who just started dating, like, this really nice girl. And we've hung out like 3 times. And I get a text from my friend who is dating her. And he's like, I'm not gonna say her name, but so-and-so is off to the same hospital that you were in because her appendix or whatever is happening. I'm just like, now my personal curse of shit happening to me is spreading onto my friends and their significant others. I don't know what to do. And I'm just like, she went in an hour after I got discharged, and I wanted to go visit her so badly because, like, if you guys have never had your appendix removed, it happens really suddenly. It's a scary situation. I literally only have one friend who has had their appendix removed that I could talk to about this, and she had her appendix and her gallbladder removed during the same procedure, and it was just not fun. It's never fun. But I wanted to be there to support her. But I couldn't go see her. A couple days later, I brought her flowers. But right after the whole thing, man, my phone is just lighting up here. But after everything happening with me in the hospital, I go home and I'm just pooped out. 2 days go by. And like I said, before I went to the ambulance for all this at the job, they said it was okay for me to go to the hospital and then I could take as much time as I needed. So the day after I get out of the hospital, I call them to ask when can I come back to work. Apparently they don't want me to come back to work because I'm too much of a liability, apparently. And I'm like, great. Great. Awesome. So, second time getting fired. And here's the thing. I'm not that much of a risky person. Like, yeah, I bleach and I dye my hair. And yeah, like, I think that's really it. I think that's, like, the only rebellious thing that I do. I stay home. I don't do drugs. I don't drink at all. I don't go anywhere sketchy. My friends and I don't do drugs. None of my friends, at least I know, do drugs or drink under the age. Eric drinks because he's legally allowed to age where I live. I mean, legally allowed to, what the hell am I saying? But I'm not that much of a crazy person, but, like, I got fired because of, like, a car accident, and we need to go to the hospital. Like, is that such a crazy thing? Like, I don't feel like that's the craziest thing in the world to happen. But it happened. So, after this happened, let's go. Oh yeah, in case you guys forgot, Eric was also in a car accident just shortly before my car accident. So, the reason I'm doing this video is because, and I'm venting and chatting with y'all, not only because I miss you, and I love you, and I want to talk to you, and update you on my fuckery that I could write a goddamn book about, but I wanted to just vent because my anxiety has just been through the roof this whole month, because getting fired again, like a lot of people out there, I have bills to pay, and it's been just really stressful, and I've had questions about how the YouTube Partner Program has affected me, because if you guys did not know, I was a part of the YouTube Partner Program. I'm technically still a part of the YouTube Partner Program. I'm just not eligible for monetization. And I have spoken about this on Instagram and Snapchat. I think Snapchat, I have not talked, have I talked about Twitter? I think I have, but I have not talked about it on YouTube. Because I don't do YouTube for the money. I have never done YouTube for the money. So, but some of you might be like, well, then why are you part of the YouTube Partner Program? I became part of the YouTube Partner Program my junior year of high school. And I did it because at the time I was not employed, and I thought it'd be able to help me, like, still keep job flowing when I was unemployed at the time because I had left a job. So when that's going on, I'm like, okay, like, this is something new that we can start. I had heard mixed things, and I don't make a ton of money, or at least I didn't make a ton of money from the YouTube Partner Program. So when I was given one of those many emails going up saying, like, you basically are not important enough to be a part of the YouTube Partner Program anymore, which, can I just say, that email was so poorly worded. I screenshotted my email, and I know many other people were like, what the fuck is going on? And I was angry at first, because it's just kind of like YouTube saying, like, if you don't know what happened, like, I had 4,000 hours of watch time in the last 12 months of my YouTube history. And it was just really hard to hear. It's like, you don't have enough watch time, so you're not relevant enough to be in the YouTube Partner Program, so we're just not gonna pay you anymore. And it just kind of felt like a slap to the face, because I joined YouTube in 2011, and let me tell you, it was such a different time on YouTube in 2011. And obviously I was a very different person then. Like, my hair was a very different color. I was so much younger, and I was entering this really new part of my life, and I wanted somewhere to be. Like, I've always done YouTube for the connection. You guys are why I do YouTube. It is not about me getting attention or views or likes. I was asking for likes literally for monetization reasons, and I did that because I kept the whole monetization thing going for an emergency fund. For things like this that I describe, when I need to go to the hospital, when my car breaks down, when I get in a car accident, I wasn't doing it because it's like, it's something there for when I need it, but I never did YouTube for the emergency fund. It was just something that was conveniently there alongside with having my connection with my audience. Like, giving you guys what I believe will entertain you and make you happy and make me happy. Because that makes me happy. Like, I believe that so many people can be successful when it comes to the YouTube Partner Program and using it to their fullest advantage. And if you can make that successful, all on you. That is great. Because if everyone could do it, they would be doing it. But I've never had that motivation to be like, I want all the YouTube money in the world. I want to be as, like, successful as the Paul Brothers or something like that, or as successful as PewDiePie or whatever. That's never been my goal. My goal was to have a connection in science or love. My goal was to tell a story, to get my creativity out there. And again, it was just all about you getting to know me and me getting to know you. And I have made such wonderful connections over these, oh god, my 7th year now. Like, Jesus Christ. It has been such a long journey, and I'm proud of that. So when I believed in something with YouTube, it's a place that I grew up on. If you've been here for a very long time, you know that very fetus Haley has grown so much. When I got that email, it felt like YouTube was saying, like, relevancy is all that matters. Connection does not matter. And I'm sorry if I get a little emotional, but it just sucks. Like, like, again, I never do this for the money, for the attention. I leave my social media in the description box because I know a lot of you like Twitter and Snapchat and everything like that. And I like Twitter and Snapchat. It's not like, oh, I don't have enough followers here, I'm just gonna stop using it. Like, that's never been, like, my fucking issue. It's always about the connection. So yeah, a few of you guys were asking about that. That's how I feel about it. Like, yeah, I'm upset that it was just kind of a slap to the face, but am I gonna fight hard for monetization back? Honestly, no. I feel like it'll be an opportunity to, like, open my eyes more to what really you guys want to see and what I want to put out. If I can get it back, I don't know if I'll go back into it. We'll just have to see. But let's talk about what's been happening this last week. This last week, I actually filmed a video today. A couple hours ago, I filmed a video. Like I said, the stuff on my arm, which is, again, not a bruise. It's lipstick. I wanted to come back so much sooner. And it was just so hard for me to film videos because, like, I'm sitting down on my bed, like, right here. And with my incisions, like, I can't sit down and hunch over for a long time because, like, my skin will just press in a weird way together and it'll hurt my incisions and then my muscles, and, like, all my abs were, like, swollen because it's, like, adjusting to, like, a body part being taken out of me and everything, and all the drugs, and just other stuff. So I was waiting for a while for when I was filming the video again. And if for those of you who are not aware, I stopped working on Sonic Forbidden Love because YouTube again was kind of giving me a big old fuck you with like, so we're going to demonetize your videos just simply because there are children's characters in them, because that's bad. It hasn't been as bad now, so I think I will start working on that again. I'm sure a lot of you are like, yay, finally, because I know it's what a lot of you only care about, and it's okay. If you don't care about me, that's totally fine. Because I know that a lot of you only watch me for that, and that's okay. That doesn't hurt my feelings. But I do want to do that again because it's like now that everything's calmed down, I can do it again. But what I'm leading up to basically is saying that it's just been hard to get back into it because I've been battling just like the feeling of basically being defeated. It's just been this ongoing joke with me and Eric that a random fucked up thing will happen every month in the month of 2016. Wow, I love how I immediately go to 2016 because that. We don't talk about 2016, but 2018, it's just an inside joke that every month something will happen to us. The car accidents, the hospitals, and now Eric is having surgery. Eric had gum surgery earlier today, and I was just really worried all day, and my anxiety was just through the fucking roof. Because I've had mouth surgery before, and I had my wisdom teeth removed in March 2017, and it wasn't the most complicated mouth surgery. Eric's was not wisdom teeth removal. It was something really like urgent and important. I don't want to say what it is because it's not my medical thing I want to describe. But like I know what it's like to have mouth surgery, and I know what it's like to be under laughing gas and to feel like things happening, and then like the recovery afterwards is a bitch. And just again, random stuff just keeps happening to us, and like my anxiety just goes, and my paranoia just goes to the most random places. I'm like, what if Eric dies during mouth surgery? Even though part of me knew that was not going to happen, but still there's that part of my brain that's like, the most fucked up thing ever is going to happen. Fuck you. And I just worry through the roof, and I worry for his safety, and I'm just like, I know that like I need to calm down, and that something super like that fucked up most likely won't happen, but love makes you do crazy things, guys. And after I lost my job the second time, from being in the hospital again, I had a really good interview for a job that I supposedly got. Now I'm not really sure, because this place is being built. It's not even open yet. And I went to the interview, and like straight up they're like, we want to hire you. And I actually did some paperwork, like tax paperwork and everything. And this was on this last Friday. And they're like, hey, so you're going to get a phone call before the end of the weekend, so either Saturday or Sunday, telling you when you'll come in for training, because this place isn't open until later this month. And they're like, we want to train you before we open, obviously. So they were supposed to call me. And I'm like, cool, awesome. So yesterday and Saturday, I'm like waiting for the phone call. And I'm like, please let this not be another fork in the road. Please let this not be another complicated, fucked up thing. I would really, really like that. And it's Monday. It's not the weekend anymore. Weekend's over. So here's the thing. I have no phone number to call them on. I apologize for my phone vibrating. I have no phone number to call on. So, like, yeah, when I showed up, like, I applied through Indeed.com. And it's just like, hey, you've been invited to an interview. So I go to the interview, and like I said, everything supposedly went great. So I was not called by any phone number, and I have no phone number to call. So I'm like, I don't know how I can ask a question of whether or not what the fuck to do next. So I like went down there today, and my car is in the shop right now. Oh my god, I completely skipped over the part where my car broke down on the freeway. Wow, I forgot about that. Okay, let's back the fuck up. So earlier, week and a half ago, we want to say. Actually a week from last Friday. So a week prior to this job interview, I had gotten a brand new, well, it was used, but new to me, car. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, and I'm happy about it. I'm driving home from a chiropractic appointment, and my engine overheats on the freeway. We have it towed. Long story short, my engine needed to be replaced. So again, random shit happened to me. Car accident, surgery for me, surgery for Eric, my friend's girlfriend in the hospital, and now this. Your girlfriend had to break, and now this weird job thing. So I go down there today to be like, hey, you never gave me a phone number to call you back on if I have a question, or in case you didn't call me before the weekend ends, and I couldn't find anything online from them because, again, they haven't even opened yet. So I had nothing to call. So I go down there in person, and this place is a construction zone. It's still being built. And I'm like, are the owners here? Because I asked the construction crew, I'm like, hey, are the owners here? And they're like, no. I'm like, do you have any contact information that I can get just to talk to them? Because I'm a recently hired employee, and I just like to speak to them, and they didn't give me anything. And they're like, no, we have nothing. And I'm like, oh, great. Awesome. So I've just been stressed all day because I'm just like, if I really do have this job, I'd just like to know that. Like, if they just said over the weekend, hey, we changed our minds, I just want to know that. I just want to know what the hell's going on. Because either way, I just want to know, like, am I fucked or am I good for once in my fucking life? And, of course, I'm worried about Eric because I'm just like, this is really, like, important surgery, and it's not really minor. It's, like, important, and I don't want him to go through pain, even though I know he is at the moment. I really don't want to go through pain, but just I worry about him, and I want my car to be okay because we're replacing my engine, which is a lot of money, and again, I'm trying to get another job from all this shit happening. And it was just hard for me to film my video today. Like, I was doing it because I'm like, I can't control that shit happening. I can't. But I can control what can make me happy. So I tried filming a video today, and I edited it, and I exported it through iMovie and everything. But I don't know if I want to upload it because, like, I think you can tell through the video that, like, I'm off. And I've always prided on being honest in my videos. And that's something I will always pride myself on. Like, I've actually been, like, some of you guys have asked me if I've been approached for sponsorships. I have. On multiple occasions. I've been approached, I believe, 3 or 4 times for sponsorships. And I have turned them all down every single time because they're like, well, the first one that I ever got was in my senior year. Actually, yeah, these were, I think, yeah, it was 4. Like, 3 of them were my senior year. The 4th one was a little bit after I graduated from high school. And these 3 random sponsorship approach were just the weirdest fucking thing. Like, the first one was for, like, this, like, app company, like, a shopping app, where it's like, hey, when your subscribers click the link in your description, you'll earn commission, I earn commission, and I'm just like, let's just be fucking honest. You guys would have not given a shit about a shopping app. I am not about that life, okay? First of all, I don't know if I'll ever do sponsored content ever, unless it was something that I had been using forever. Like, for example, my MacBook. I've had my MacBook for 5 years, so if Apple wanted to sponsor me and ask me, hey, do you want to talk about your MacBook and how much you like it, I would talk about that, because it's not like, oh, I just got this MacBook a month ago. It's awesome. Like, no, I've been using this for 5 years. I know how it is. I know what Apple's customer service and everything is like. I know how it is. Or my Android phone. If Samsung was like, hey, do you want to have a sponsorship? I've had Android phones my entire life. This is my 2nd Android. So I know how they are. Like, it's something that I trust and I use and I believe in. So don't tell me, like, hey, get this shopping app that you'll love. Like, I'd have to use it for a long time and be like, I use this app. Like, what is an app that I feel like I could be sponsored by? Probably Uber. Like, that one I've had to use a lot. Or fucking Lyft. Or just, like, you know, something that, like, you actually care about. Like, the shopping app was just weird. I knew you guys. I didn't give a shit about it, and I knew you guys would not give a shit about it. So, yeah. Like, again, I've been just asked about it over and over again. And what I would hate is for you guys to not feel like you could trust me or feel like that I was being honest. So yeah, I've turned down sponsorships before. I have turned down, like, people, like, saying, like, oh, I'll help you get so many more followers. And I'm like, that's not why I do this. And just, yeah, I've always wanted the conversation to be open and honest. And me venting about this shit happening is just part of me being open and honest. Just saying, like, hey, life is just not the best for me right now. It's not the worst that it's ever been for me, but right now I'm stressed. I'm kind of depressed because I'm sick of failing. I'm sick of getting fired for no reason and losing jobs that I think I'm really good in. And this job I really, really want. And I would really hate to just get, like, last second fuck you'd for really no reason. And I'd hate for my boyfriend to feel like shit. I hate that he is in pain right now, and just, yeah, I worry about him, and I just want things to, like, stop. Like, I just want shit to stop getting fucked up. I would really appreciate that, and sometimes all I can really do is just, after I've tried doing what I physically do about it, is just, like, hope for the best. Like, I'm gonna try to go back to the job place tomorrow and talk to the owners, like, first thing in the morning, be like, hey, what the fuck is going on? And I'm just gonna hope for the best and that Eric's painkillers are really working, because I know he's gonna need them, a lot of them. And it was nice to just sit here and talk for about 35 minutes about what's going on, and I appreciate those of you who were here and are here viewing this and listening to me, because I'm sure there's far better things you could be doing right now, and I am the least of your concerns, but I appreciate it. I will be having that, maybe I'll have the video that I did today going up soon. If you would like that to go up soon, please go ahead and tell me. I did take a poll on my Instagram stories. That's another thing. I started doing that. And Snapchat can suck my ass. That app is a goddamn mess. I fucking can't stand it. Yeah, but that's not the point. I'm gonna go now because I have text messages and I really should respond to them so people don't think that I'm dead. Again, I really appreciate this. I hope you guys have a good time. Thank you for listening to me chat with you about shit going on. And I love you. And I hope that we will see each other again very, very soon. Alright. Bye-bye.